Everything changes as we age. Tell me about it. Even the kind of nutrition our bodies need to feel great. So today we're going to put a spotlight on women's health in particular and nutrition right across the decades. Joining me now is registered dietitian Sue Mah. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to break this down decade by decade to see what is most important for our bodies to have.
Absolutely. So let's start in the 20s.
Okay.
In the 20s, iron is one of the most important nutrients for many reasons for women. First of all, we lose iron through menstruation, right? We know that. But if you're a long-distance runner as a woman, you're actually breaking down those red blood cells. And iron, the majority of our iron is found in red blood cells. So if you do a lot of running, the minute your heel strikes the ground, you're breaking red blood cells, you're losing iron.
Wow.
If you're vegetarian, you need almost 2 times more iron than a non-vegetarian. So here are some food sources of iron. Any type of meat. I've got some beef here, but chicken, tofu even has some iron. Those are all great sources. And those are the animal-based sources. Non-animal-based sources of iron are things like spinach or cereal or beans. They're also great, but make sure you have something with vitamin C at the same time because that helps your body better absorb this plant-based iron from foods.
Right, obviously because you're more active in your 20s, you're going to need more iron.
Absolutely.
All right, moving into our 30s.
Right, folate is important. This is a vitamin B, it's a type of B vitamin, and it helps your body build DNA. It's also very important for pregnant women because that helps to build the baby's brain and spinal cord. Now, folate actually works in the first 4 weeks of pregnancy, even before you might even know you're pregnant. So if you're planning a pregnancy, take a folate supplement, a folic acid supplement, and have foods that include folate.
See, I would guess fruits and vegetables. I would not have guessed pasta.
Well, because in Canada, pasta, grains, and bread are fortified with folate, so it's okay to have white pasta.
Okay.
Because you want the folate. Asparagus, some lentils, and papaya, of course, also contain folate.
All right, moving into it. You know what I'm noticing is they get a little less like fun as you go
Oh,
on.
no, that's not true.
All right, lots of fruits and veggies here in our 40s.
In our 40s, we're looking at 2 different nutrients, potassium and magnesium. Now, potassium, as we get older, our blood pressure naturally rises, and potassium helps to relax the walls of the blood vessels and reduce blood pressure. So that's important. Fruits and vegetables are your best sources of potassium. So tomatoes, potatoes have the skin for extra fiber, squash, bananas, they're all great sources. Leafy greens will also contain potassium. Magnesium, on the other hand, is needed for so many different things. It helps to maintain a regular heartbeat. It keeps our muscles and our nerves working well. And it works with calcium and vitamin D to build strong bones. And get this, when we're stressed, which you can be in your 40s with the kids and the parents, there's a lot going on. When you're stressed, magnesium gets depleted. So we want to make sure we get some whole grains and some nuts and seeds.
So I should just walk around with bananas like all the time.
And Brazil nuts and some pumpkin seeds. That will really help boost your magnesium. And magnesium deficiency can trigger migraine headaches.
Really?
So many great reasons to make sure you're getting enough magnesium.
All right, heading into our 50s. See, this, I feel like it starts to get a little bit more fun again, right? You got a little bit more meat, you got different sorts of
absolutely.
vegetables.
So in our 50s, osteoporosis prevention is key, and calcium and vitamin D work together to minimize the bone loss that naturally occurs as we age. So I've got a glass of milk here which contains calcium and vitamin D and potassium and magnesium.
So I've always heard that if you don't like drinking milk, and some people don't, then you can always have something like broccoli as a substitute.
Okay, that's why I brought the broccoli. Broccoli does contain calcium, but you have to have 7.5 cups of broccoli to get the same amount of calcium as in 1 cup of milk. That's a lot of broccoli. I love it.
That's a lot of broccoli.
It's a lot of broccoli and potentially a lot of gas.
Yes,
so, and so beans and almonds also contain calcium. And if you don't like milk, you can have a fortified soy beverage, fortified almond beverage, anything that's got the added calcium and vitamin D.
And you need the vitamin D to help absorb the calcium.
Yes, and not many foods contain vitamin D. Naturally, we've got some salmon, eggs, and shiitake mushrooms are some of the few foods that naturally contain vitamin D.
Do you need to eat them raw, or can you cook them?
You can cook them too, not a problem.
Is it true that our bodies stop absorbing calcium as we get older?
You know, that's such a great point. As we get older, we need more calcium. As we get older, 50 and older, our bodies are less effective at producing vitamin D from the sunlight, and that's why we need to make sure we're getting enough vitamin D. And, you know, very often, those over 50 should be taking a vitamin D supplement in addition to having these amazing foods.
All right, into our 60s. And, you know, you have 60s and plus.
60s and plus.
I often find my parents are in their 70s, and they eat smaller portions.
Yes.
So, but they still need the high nutrient count.
Right, so they need nutrient-packed foods, right? And so calcium and vitamin D are still important for your parents and my parents, but they also want to think about vitamin B12, which also helps to build DNA and red blood cells. So anything animal-based will have vitamin B12. Milk, fortified soy beverages, fortified almond beverages, any type of meat, chicken, beef, pork, fish, tuna, salmon, and cheese. But if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you're going to need a vitamin B12 supplement. Talk to your doctor or even a dietitian to make sure that you're getting enough B12 throughout the day.
Sue, it's always great when you're here. You help us to eat smarter.
Thank you
Stronger
so
bodies. We appreciate
much.
it. All this information, of course, as always, is on our website, yourmorning.ca.